In this video, I will tell you about the ocean currents. The red color denotes the warm currents and the cold currents are denoted by the blue colors. So we will discuss about all the warm and cold currents in this video. So let's move on to the Pacific Ocean first. Then we will see the currents in the Pacific Ocean. The first one is the Alaskan current, which goes through the Mojave Desert and the Californian Desert towards Alaska and gives it a warm effect. Then the second one is North Pacific current, which flows towards the east and it joins the Californian current, which is a cold current, and it gives a desiccating effect to the Californian desert or the Mojave Desert. And then there is the North Equatorial current, which flows towards the west, and the Equatorial current, counter current, which flows towards the east, and it gets divided into two branches. One goes towards the North America and the other goes towards the South America. It gets divided into two branches at Panama. And then there is the South Equatorial current, which flows towards the west. Then there is the South Pacific current, it flows towards the east. And the Peruvian current is a cold current, which is an upwelling cold current, and it gives a desiccating effect to the Atacama Desert in Peru and Chile, and it is also a fishing ground. So it creates a fishing ground, very good fishing ground in Peru and Chile. So gives a very good boost to the economy. Then there is the Antarctic circumpolar current, which goes towards the east, and the Antarctic subpolar, which flows towards the west. Now we will move on to the currents of the Atlantic Ocean. The first one is the Eastern Greenland current. It is a cold current which meets the which flows towards south and meets the Labrador current, and which is also a cold current. And these two currents join the Gulf Stream at the Labrador Peninsula, near the Labrador Peninsula of Canada. And then there is a meeting of cold and warm currents, so it is a very good fishing ground for nesting of fishes and catch. And it is very good fishing ground. And also there is some kind of haze and fog is associated when warm and cold currents meet, and it gives a very good boost to the economy. Then there is the North Equatorial current, which flows towards the west and joins the Gulf Stream, and the Gulf Stream joins the North Atlantic Drift Current. North Atlantic Drift Current divides into two branches. One flows towards the European side, towards Norway, Sweden, and Finland. It gives a warm effect to Norway, Sweden, and Finland during the winter days, so that shipping industry is not affected during the winter days and the oceans remain unfrozen. And the second one of the North Atlantic Drift Currents branches is the Canary current. It is a cold current and it gives a desiccating effect to the Sahara Desert. Then we will move on to the equatorial current, which flows towards the west and east, and the equatorial counter current, which flows towards the west towards the Gulf of Mexico. And then the south equatorial current, which flows towards Brazil. And there is a warm current which flows towards the Brazil. It is called the Brazil current. Then there is the South Atlantic current, which flows towards the east and it joins the Benguela current, which again which is a cold current and gives a desiccating effect to the Kalahari and Namib Desert. Then we will move on to the currents in the Indian Ocean. These are not very important. The main important are the currents in the Pacific and especially in the Atlantic Ocean. Then in the Indian Ocean there is the equatorial counter current below India, and equatorial south equatorial current, which flows towards the west. And then both these equatorial current and south equatorial current join the Mozambique current, which is a warm current. And uh, and then the South Indian current goes towards the Western Australian current, which is a cold current and again gives desiccating effect to the Australian desert, the Great Australian Desert. And then there is the Antarctic circumpolar current, which flows and throughout the throughout the southern part of the globe towards the east side. And then we will look at some of the currents from the near Japan and Australia. Then there is the Eastern Australian Current. It gives some rains. It is a warm current, so it gives some rains to the Western Australian side. And there are two very important rivers located on the Western Australian side. You have to name these rivers in the current. On the Eastern Australian side, which are fed by Eastern Australian Current, which is a warm current. You have to give the name of these rivers in the comments. Then there is the North Equatorial Current again. North Equatorial Current, which is around the globe. It is in Pacific Ocean also, in the Atlantic Ocean also, in the Indian Ocean also, and again in the Pacific Ocean, which flows towards the west. Then Kuroshio Current and Oyashio Current. Kuroshio current is a warm current and Oyashio current is a cold current. They both meet at Japan and they make Japan a very good fishing ground. It is a large fishing ground for different types of fishes and marine organisms, and it gives economic boost to the Japan, and they depend very fondly on the seafood because of this. And then the North Pacific current flows towards the east. So all these are the warm and cold currents of the world. Hope you guys like this video, and hope you guys find this video very informative. You can look at the full picture of the all the currents and learn all these currents, because they are very important from the point of view of UPSC prelims.